Josh here, WarGamingNewb Historical, back with another hobby vlog. This time around, it is just a cleanup of my hobby desk. I'm not going to show you guys a picture of what my hobby desk looks like, but needless to say, it is pretty horrible. It's filled with a bunch of paints, different models that I've partially worked on, and I decided that it's time, in lieu of like a late spring cleaning, to kind of start going through some of these miniatures and getting them painted up. In the past week, I've been able to make some pretty good progress. Again, I'm not a very fast painter, but I feel like getting these solely off my desk will allow me to work on other stuff that I would prefer to work on. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. First off, did a couple single figures. Wanted to bring them out here. We have Francois Lolonais from Blood and Plunder. Had this sitting around for about a year. You also have a mercenary captain for Pike and Shot. And then this Chasseur à Cheval Bugler. These are the first figures that I completed off of my desk. I'm going to actually bring it up. Let me close in real quick. We'll start with Francois Lolonais. See if I can get better lighting here. So, again, Blood and Plunder figure. Kind of used a Games Workshop 32mm base for him. Could have done it a lot better. I do like the gold trim that I was able to do on his sash there, and you can't really tell, but his belt sash right there is purple, as well as the one on the head here. I don't know if I can get it. I don't know if I can get it lit up better, but anyway, that's Francois Lolonais. I'm actually thinking of using this guy. Let me see if we can focus it. Thinking of using this guy for Mordheim, because he does kind of have that flair, pirate flair, that can be used in a couple of different war bands for Mordheim. But anyway, that's Francois Lolonais. Okay, I've actually had this bugler mostly done up for a very long time. I just had to finish a couple of the details as well as the base for him, and now I can add him to my box with all of my French Napoleonics. This is a Perry miniature. The hardest part, and if I can get this to focus a bit, almost there, was the decorative piping on the sleeves and on the chest. But again, I used Iand and yellow contrast paint for that. So that is the bugler all done. Another figure off my table. And then lastly, out of the initial group of figures, is this mercenary captain warlord figure for Pike and Shot. Again, kind of had to figure out how I wanted to paint him. Ended up doing a little bit of slap chopping to get this model done, and it turned out pretty well. Well, in any case, yeah, I'm pretty happy actually with how this miniature turned out, especially the white horse here. So, all right. Those are the first three figures I got off of my desk. Another thing that I've had sitting on my desk for the longest time, partially built, partially painted, was this Russian artillery piece for black powder. This one is a warlord model. So really had it primed and the artillery piece glued onto the base, but just recently finished it. I'm actually very happy with how it turned out. I'll probably do a short for all the artillery pieces I have for black powder done, but I'm very happy, again, to get this off of my desk, especially since there were actually 5 figures. That includes the artillery piece, and again, clears off my desk quite well. So I have a couple things here that are partially built and painted. I've had a stand of Chasseur à Cheval kind of just sitting around. I finally finished the first guy. Yeah, so I was able to get one guy done. I have a little bit more to do. Probably use Apothecary White for the sash there to make it pop a little bit more. But pretty happy with how this has turned out. A little bit of the boot needs to be painted as well. And then I worked on the other rider right there. Almost all done. Got to do his mount as well. Finally, mostly finished a stand of British light infantry from the Waterloo 2-player starter right there. need to work on the epaulets a little bit, do the basing, and then I'll have one more stand done. I still have quite a few left to do for the Waterloo 2-player starter. And then lastly, and this is not such a big deal, I do have a Perry British line infantry that I had sitting around. I single based this along with a number of other Perry miniatures from that box set, because I was using, or I am using these for horse and musket. And again, that's a skirmish game. So just have to do the basing on this guy, and I'll have another British line infantry. In fact, I could probably use this and his compatriots as skirmishers for black powder as well. So, all right, that is my hobby desk cleanup. I do have one more thing that I want to show off. Something that I've been working on that is actually for historical and the OG channel, and that's terrain crafting. So I'm going to zoom out just a bit. I've been working on terrain for Mordheim. I have one building mostly complete. I don't really have the interior completed. However, I may just leave the interior like this, because from a filming standpoint, I won't be filming from this angle at all. But, you know, obviously if I'm making a 2-story building here, I wanted to like do as much as I can. I'm still thinking on whether or not I want to paint the rest of it, but at this point it is a usable building. And as you can see, the style is kind of Tudor-like. So I could use this for some historicals, whether or not I'm going to use it for black powder, pike and shot, or even bolt action for Normandy. But yeah, I crafted this in a weekend. I'm not a very fast crafter, but I'm actually very pleased with how this turned out. And again, because I'm using these for Mordheim, I have to actually build some more, because obviously that game requires a lot of terrain. Did start doing the second building. I still haven't mastered everything, but as you can see, got most of it done. Just needs texture. I use Liquitex sand to give it that that texture like that, and then obviously I'm going to paint it. The thing that I did notice is, or the thing that you will notice, is that I only have half roofs on these. The next set of buildings that I'm going to do will actually have the roof facing this way, so that I can do both ends and still have kind of like a damaged look for the roof. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. And again, because I'm building this in a specific style, I can actually use it for more than just Mordheim. But that is basically what I've built these for. And I'm having a lot of fun crafting damaged houses and buildings. Again, it's not very hard to do this. Just got to find a good video and some guides. And yeah, have some cardboard. Obviously, a lot of this is cardboard, coffee stirrer sticks for the wood paneling here, and other things. But obviously, it's nice to have terrain, and building your own is definitely cost effective. So anyway, that is the update. That hobby desk cleanup and some terrain. On the next vlog, I'm going to show more of the stuff that I am working on for the hobby desk cleanup project. And yeah, that's it. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and click like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I appreciate it if you would. Click the bell notification icon to get notified of all new hobby vlog coming out of the channel. And then click the link in the description below to join our Discord server. That is the best way I could personally interact with you and chit-chat you about hobby desk cleanup, terrain building, and any other thing that we cover on this channel. That's it. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more hobby vlog from WarGamingNewb Historical.